Now, cryptocurrencies have been hitting all-time highs recently. Bitcoin spiked at $19,000, making it the fifth most valuable currency in circulation. But critics are warning that the crypto rush may be a bubble about to burst. So here's what you need to know about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin has hit a financial milestone not reached in almost 4 centuries. It's taken over the title of biggest bubble in history from what was known as Tulip mania in the Netherlands. Bitcoin's value has surged by around 60 times in the last 3 years. That's faster than tulip bulbs in the 17th century, which at one point were worth 10 years of a skilled craftsman's earnings. Back then, prices were driven by greed or a fear of missing out. But as more people bought into the bulbs for quick profits, a flurry of sales collapsed the price and left many with crippling debts. Bitcoin is being called the digital tulip of the 21st century as the same pattern emerges, a fear of missing out and new investors piling in. Critics say the perceived value of the currency, like the tulip, is being conjured out of thin air. But the ever-growing army of Bitcoin believers say it's here to stay, with an operational market in full flow round the clock and new places all over the world ready to accept the cryptocurrency as payment. Even a church in London is happy to accept donations of the virtual kind. With the size of the Bitcoin market already surpassing some countries' economies, including New Zealand, influential banks are being left behind. But as history shows us, boom is usually followed by bust, and soon it could be Bitcoin's turn to wilt or blossom.
So how concerned should people be? Well, Ewan and O'Neill discussed the possible repercussions of a crash with a Bitcoin advocate.
I do not believe this is a bubble, and it's just the beginning of an adoption rate of a technology.
How damaging could the losses be, though, if prices suddenly drop? We have heard, people putting savings into it. It's so large now that it affects so many different things. If the prices did suddenly drop, would it be a catastrophe?
Of course, that could be said for anything, really, if people are storing value in it that they can't live without. A lot of the crypto enthusiasts do say only invest money you can live without, and don't use any money that you're emotionally attached to. So that way, if it is in a volatile market, and that's what cryptocurrency is right now, it's extremely risky, it's highly volatile, and if you're emotionally attached to any value you put into it, you might be up late at night biting your nails.
On the overall scale of things, if the cryptocurrency bubble does burst, and I understand there's a lot of different things would have to go wrong for that to happen, of course, would that have repercussions on the rest of the financial world and markets? Is it that big?
I would actually be more worried about if the bubble doesn't burst, what kind of effects it could have on the world economy in general. If it doesn't burst, it may actually have more repercussions than if it were to burst today. Even if you wanted to sell $1 million, or like you said, billionaires, somebody wanted to sell $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today, it's not easy. So it would take a long time for that to happen. And if you're an investor in cryptocurrencies, if you do sell your crypto, there's ideologies behind it where you want to sell your crypto to somebody who's looking to invest in it, who's going to hold it long term. That way, the cryptocurrency you're holding and waiting to sell, because you have to do it little by little, it doesn't lose value drastically over time because you just dumped it on the market.